So this is speech number 3. Um, so many people die on motorcycles each year, and it's sad, but it's the harsh reality of riding a motorcycle. The thing is, I feel that a good number of these accidents and deaths can be prevented. A lot of states today don't really have strict laws on wearing a helmet, and in a lot of these states it's where people die. There's actually 3 states in the U.S. that don't have a law on helmets. You can just ride without a helmet anytime you want. And those 3 states are actually Illinois, Iowa, and New Hampshire. See, the 3 states are not very wise to have no helmet laws, and those 3 states, people die on motorcycles a lot because you don't need a helmet. 19 states in the U.S., it's mandatory to have a helmet. Helmets are the biggest thing, and if you don't wear one, you're going to get a ticket, and you can get your motorcycle license revoked, actually. 28 states require you to wear a helmet if you're 20 years or younger. And those 3 states that I mentioned, Illinois, Iowa, and New Hampshire, don't care if you wear one or not. They can care less. So, do you think helmets aren't mandatory? I sure do. Because I've had personal experiences with people and friends that have worn helmets and have not worn helmets. Thankfully, and knock on wood, none of my friends have passed due to a motorcycle accident. And I'm thankful. And the majority of us wear helmets. Only 2 of my friends don't wear helmets. One of them's been in an accident, but he thankfully didn't have anything serious. He just had a concussion, and it wasn't at a high speed. He was going like 10 miles an hour, and he just kind of had like a little whiplash, but he's fine. One of my friends, though, actually had a really bad accident. Thankfully, he was wearing a helmet. His helmet actually had a crack in it, and it was a really gnarly crack that was it was on the back of the helmet, and it went all the way down, and you can actually see the inside of the helmet. It was a really bad crack, and he wore a DOT approved helmet, which is DOT's mandatory on helmets, but that means there's 30 helmets, and he had a good crack in that sucker, and I don't know how he was able to walk away, but he was. And if it wasn't for the helmet, I guarantee he would not be here today. And we live in a state where helmets aren't mandatory, so if we were riding without helmets, it wouldn't matter. As you saw, I have a helmet. I wear helmets all the time, because I'm not going to take a chance. It could be really hot one day, and I will not wear my helmet, because no matter if it's a little uncomfortable, that can ultimately save my life one day, and I'm not going to take it for granted. See, I believe everyone should wear a helmet. I believe every single state in the U.S. should make it mandatory to wear a helmet, because people die, and I guarantee you, if you make helmets mandatory, there won't be as many deaths in the U.S. as there are now with all the states that don't really require it. Only 19 states require it, mandatory. 28 of those states don't give a shit if you don't wear a helmet if you're above 20 years old. So they think if you're 21 years or older, you can do whatever you want. This is the one thing that I feel like a state actually should. I disagree with a lot of state laws and a lot of things that states do. I'm not going to get into the whole political thing, but this is the one thing that I feel like states should make mandatory, like seatbelts, because seatbelts save drivers all the time. There's not as many people flying through front windows as there were before. On a motorcycle, we don't have seatbelts. If we crash, we're gonna fly, and we're gonna hit something. At the very least, make it mandatory that we wear a helmet, so that our head isn't hitting the curb without a helmet and cracking open and we're dying on the side of the road. And it sounds gruesome and it sounds graphic, but that happens. There's been way worse things that you can see and find pictures of, actually, on the internet of motorcycle accidents. And I actually look at these pictures to put an image in my head so I'm not a crazy guy riding out on the road splitting lanes and stuff. I have done it, I'm not going to lie. I've done some stupid stuff on a motorcycle. But I try to be as safe as possible, and wearing a helmet is the biggest step that you should do. So, we as a country are improving the laws, obviously, because there wasn't all these states that required it. And we're slowly getting to those states, to everyone requiring it. But only 19 are mandatory now, and we need more than 19. So those 28 states, I'm hoping in the future will make it a mandatory thing, not just for 20 years and 21 years and older. And the 3 states, including the one we live in, have to quickly change the laws and make it a mandatory thing to wear helmets. I ride a Harley Davidson. There's not many Harley Davidson riders that wear helmets because they just cruise. I still wear a helmet because I know the dangers, because I used to own a sport bike and I used to ride sport bikes. I know people on sport bikes that don't wear a helmet, are in shorts and a tank top or a t-shirt like a douchebag, and they're flying down the road at 180 miles an hour. You hit one little pebble and you're dead. They're going to die. Now, granted, you're wearing a helmet in your gear and you go at that speed and hit a pebble and fly off. You can still die, but if the slight chance you do survive, you're going to be a vegetable. But, and you wouldn't want to live like that anyway, but still, just give yourself a slight percentage more of survival, because, there's people that love you, and they don't want you to die. And, my mom's been through a lot, and I don't want me to die and make her go through more pain than she has gone through in her life. So, as a country, we're improving. We gotta change the laws, make riding safer for everyone. And yeah, it's uncomfortable, but we gotta limit the number of deaths, and we all gotta come home to our families. So invest in a helmet. States, please make it mandatory that we all have to wear our helmets so we can survive. So that way we can live long, happy lives with our families and continue to ride safe. So I hope these laws change, and I hope everyone is able to invest in a helmet, ride safe, and come home to your family. Thank you.